More than 20 years ago, I attempted to visit this ghost town called Tybo, Nevada. There's a landmark right behind me here. Anyway, I was met with a sign that said, "Trespassers will be shot," so I left. But I'm back today, so hey, let's take this adventure together. So, welcome back to Beers and Frontiers, and hopefully, nobody gets shot. Well, we made it to Tybo. So far, so good. So we're going to explore to see what is left of this place. And like I was saying, there's some people that live here. You know, I've been very reluctant to come here, only because some people still do live here, and because of the sign that heeded the warning back in the day. And but it's not too hard to get to. It's about 8 miles off of Route 6 in Nye County in Nevada. But it is so far so good. I did encounter a sign. It's not as threatening as the one that we encountered a long time ago, but I'll flip it around and show it to you. All right, so there you go. So warning, you're entering redneck area. You may encounter American flags, American citizens, Lord's Prayer, and country music. Proceed at your own risk. Now, that's a far less threatening sign I saw years ago, so I'm feeling pretty comfortable about this. But I do see there is private property, so I am going to respect the folks who live here. Anyway, let's press on. Let's see what we can find. Tybo was established about 1870, and it was named from the Shoshone word Tybo. I think that's, if I got it right. Anyway, it means white man's district. Yeah, he moved in and straightened things out. Okay, so let's poke around as best we can here. Let's take a look at this building here. Probably an old mercantile building. Probably. That's where you did all your business here. Oh yeah, look at that inside. Looks like they're doing some construction maybe. To kind of repair this thing. I'm not going to go inside, but you can see from right here from my view what is going on. Yeah, this building at least 100 years old for sure. Okay, and it's starting to fall down. You can see the structure, and they're trying to reinforce it right now. So, but you know, it's good that they have the proper property and people here to maintain the town, because if not, the vandals would just destroy it. And that's one thing that I really hate. See what else we got over here. All right, so you can see where the old stone wall here in brick, where it's kind of even coming apart over the years. I actually ran into one of the owners out here, stopped by to say hello. He was very, very nice, and he kind of said I can go poke around in here, so we can probably give you a pretty decent video. He told me areas to stay out of because there's some open mine shafts. Don't want to fall down those. That'll ruin your day. I remember one time, oh, this is way back in the 80s, and I was walking into a mine at night with a friend of mine. And I did not know where I was going, and at the last second she pulled me back, and I almost went straight down into a mine. That would have been the end of me, so thank God. All right, let's see what we can find up here. All right, now just to tell you a little bit about Tybo, and I'm showing you it right now, but it prospered in the 1870s for about 10 years. They did mining. I believe it was silver. If I'm wrong, you can correct me in the comments, but I think that's what they did here. And it lasted about 10 years, and they had 1,000 people living here. So now, they're down to just a handful of people right now. And I just ran into one of them. And can't picture where they would have put 1,000 people. Back in those days, they had a little mining camps. They would put tents up, temporary structures and stuff like that. But this is what's left here is more permanent structures. So yeah, so they kept it going about 10 years. And they have schools, newspapers, saloons. Oh yeah, got some more stuff right here. Look at that. All right, Tybo is not disappointing. I am glad that I decided to come back here. Like I said, I think it was over 20 years ago when I ran into that sign, which they changed. It used to be trespassers would be shot. But now again, you don't have to worry about that. As long as you are respectful and you're not acting like an idiot, you know. And I think the guy who came up on me, he could see that I was being respectful and I'm not being a clown out here. I'm not here to do any damage to this wonderful town, this ghost town from the early 1900s, late 1800s. I am here to provide content for my subscribers that are ghost town enthusiasts. Oh, I see a mining operation up there. Let's walk up that hill and get a closer look at that. All right, stick around if you want to see that. Now, as I was saying, Tybo had all the makings of a classic town, you know, the newspaper and the schools and the saloons and general store, but all that's gone now. It's all gone. Just a few people are left. So there's no services out here. Just a few folks that live out here on the edge of civilization, so to speak, and they probably have to drive a good hour and a half to get into anything. I think Tonopah, maybe, or Caliente are the closest towns where you can get some stuff, get some services. So yeah, so all that's left now is a ghost town, and we're going to continue to walk and talk to that mining operation, see if I can get up there and get a closer look. All right. Check out this equipment. Look. All right. Apologize for the sun being in the shot, but I can't do anything about that. All right, so yeah, we're able to manage our way up to the mill here. You can see that's where all the inside that. Let me see if I can get a closer look. You can see the machinery of the old mill right there. Oh, I can actually get in here. Look at this. Okay, here we go. So if you decide to come out to Tybo, like I said, it's about 8 miles off of the road, and the people seem friendly, and as long as you're respectful, you can see this cool stuff. But be careful when you're poking around. Like you see, I got the ceilings caving in here, so I won't stay in here too long. And the ground's treacherous, and you know, obviously you have snakes and scorpions and whatnot. But that is impressive right there. Now here's a good shot of the town from a higher vantage point. Now, just to tell you a little bit more about Tybo, it tried to revive itself over the years, over the decades, but it never really got to sustain itself over a period of time, and it's just kind of fades into history with a lot of the old west and the old mining towns of Nevada and California and Arizona, and same old story, you know, the resources run dry and the people run out. Now they say, well, I know because I saw a marker out at the end of the highway that there's kilns at the end of this road. But it's very treacherous, and I was talking to the guy from this town, and he says he doesn't recommend, unless you have a high clearance vehicle, that you try it. So Basically, if you want to take a hike for 3 miles, you can get to the kiln. So we'll see if we can find some photos here on the internet, put them up there for you to try to determine whether it's worth that 6-mile round trip. But for us, we're just going to stay down here in town. Look what is up there at the top of that hill there. I don't think I can get up there, but that looks pretty cool. Yeah, trip there, I gotta be careful. I'm doing my best to show you everything I can here in Tybo, but there's still a lot that I can't get to. So I recommend you come out here yourself, because if there's something that I missed or something that I didn't cover, you can see it for yourself. So well worth the trip, that's for sure. Well worth it. Okay. I don't know what this would have been. Probably part of the old mining operation. We're going to see if we can get a closer look at this. All right.
Let's go climb.
Yeah, maybe Anna, are those little windows you can look in?
Give it a go.
I'm going to give it a go. Let's take a look. All right. Okay, let's see what we can see. No, nothing to see here. Oh, what is that? It's so dark, it's nothing to see in there. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Although we see the sign that says private property, the guy gave me permission to come up here. So let's see if I can get this window here. See what's going on. Okay, there we go. There we go. Yeah, this is definitely part of the old mining operation. Let's go in here. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed your adventure with us here to Tybo, Nevada, this notorious ghost town from the late 1800s. And I'm glad you took the ride with us, because we really enjoyed it. And it wasn't as nerve-wracking as we thought it was going to be. So, but that's all we have to show you for now. But until next time, cheers from Beers and Frontiers.